Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress American Folklife Center is the largest oral history archive in the nation. The Veterans History Project, which we sometimes refer to as VHP, was created by unanimous congressional mandate in 2000. It comprises the personal, first-hand accounts of American war veterans in the form of audio and videotaped interviews, original photographs, illustrations, letters, diaries, maps, and other documents. 5% of the collections are accessible online for viewing and research. I'm standing in the VHP Information Center in the library's James Madison building. If you find yourself in our nation's capital, we encourage you to stop by and visit us, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. But more importantly, we urge you to help us collect and archive the stories of our nation's veterans, because we rely on volunteer interviewers to record stories and send them to the Library of Congress. Throughout this video, we'll hear from documentary filmmaker Ken Burns, who offers practical advice on how you can participate in the Veterans History Project. While we don't require his cinematic skills, we hope you'll find these tips helpful and easy to remember.
You don't have to be a professional interviewer to do an interview for the Veterans History Project. The project values all contributors, and they want you to know this is not a complicated process. With merely some time to listen, a good microphone, and a cassette recorder, you can make a veteran part of history.
This video will demonstrate how to record the first-hand recollections of American war veterans, according to the straightforward guidelines set by the Library of Congress. Adhering to the correct process will ensure VHP collections remain a vital resource for researchers, scholars, and generations to come.
The Veterans History Project is a grassroots initiative that unites diverse communities around a common purpose: to collect, preserve, and make accessible the personal accounts of American war veterans so that future generations may hear directly from veterans and better understand the realities of war. VHP's collections include stories of all American conflicts from World War I to the current conflicts in Afghanistan and Iraq. All materials submitted that are in the scope of the Veterans History Project will be in the permanent collections of the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. It's important to adhere to Library of Congress guidelines when recording and submitting collections to ensure that the one-of-a-kind stories and other items fit within the necessary requirements of the Veterans History Project collection. When a veteran's story comes to the library, VHP's processing team assigns it a unique collection ID number. Audio and videotapes, CDs, DVDs, photographs, letters, and other documents are labeled with this unique number, in some cases stabilized and placed in museum-quality acid-free folders and boxes. All of these items are then secured in appropriate temperature and humidity-controlled library facilities to preserve the life of the materials. In addition, a web page is created for every veteran who shares a story or collection of historical documents. The web page lists basic information, including dates of service, branches of service, and the items that are within each individual collection. Thousands of collections are accessible online for viewing and research. Here's how you get started. Visit our website at loc.gov/vets and click on How to Participate to download a field kit, which is a How to Record a Story booklet. Register the collection you wish to submit online at loc.gov/vets. It's important to register your collection, as it will expedite the process of putting your interview in the VHP collection. Now it's time to record the veteran's story and assist in gathering items. After you download or receive your field kit and register online, set up an appointment with the veteran to record the interview and ask the veteran if he or she has any materials to bring to the interview. Photographs or letters that help the veteran remember stories.
Hey Tracy, how are you? It's Clay.
Have a brief conversation with the veteran before recording so that the veteran has a sense of what the experience will be like. This helps get memories flowing and ensures participants are at ease.
Do your research. Thoughtful research before the interview will help your work immensely. Get to know the person you will interview and the events he or she will speak about. If possible, have the veteran fill out the biographical data form and give it to you before you meet to record the interview.
Please use the highest quality digital audio or video equipment available to you with an external microphone. Accepted formats are digital video, Betacam, DVD video, MPEG-2, audio cassette, CD audio, and WAV files. Limit one interview per CD, DVD, audio cassette, or videotape. Provide a comfortable, fixed seat for the veteran. Swivel, rocking, and reclining chairs can distract from the quality of the recording. Place the microphone so that it is pointing toward the interviewee. Test the recording device to ensure it operates correctly.
As you are interviewing a veteran of any war, here are a few tips to keep in mind. Pick an appropriate location for the interview. Be sure you choose a place for the interview that has good natural light. Near a window is preferable to outside, and one that is free of extraneous noise. The human ear can filter out unwanted sounds, but not so the microphone. Be aware of street noise, barking dogs, and turn off cell and home phones. Establish a comfort zone. Help the veteran feel relaxed and as comfortable as possible. If you can, conduct the interview in surroundings familiar to him or her.
At the beginning of the interview, announce your name, the name of the veteran, the date, the location of the recording, and the name of anyone else present.
Okay, Tracy, you ready to start?
Yes, I am.
Great. I am Clay Mosley, and I am interviewing Tracy Dodson in her office on May the 5th, 2009. Now, this interview...
Then state that the interview is being conducted for the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress.
Yes, I am.
Knowing what questions to ask during an interview can be difficult. Included in the field kit is a list of suggested topics to help guide volunteers through the interview process.
Practice good listening skills. Careful listening is critical to this process. Let the interview be guided by the veteran. The best way to know what question to ask next is to follow up on what the veteran just said. Follow-up questions are necessary to enrich the story. Be patient. Don't put the veteran on the spot about dates and places. Many times, particular battles were not given names until long after the events occurred. It is more important to record their personal recollections than specifics. Be respectful. If the veteran becomes emotional, have tissues on hand and let them compose themselves. Pause the recording if you need to, but remember to press record again when the veteran is ready. Never record someone secretly or without their consent. Be a quiet listener. A good interview happens when the interviewer says the least and the interview subject says the most. Hold in your natural inclination to add comments and respond by nodding your head or making affirmative eye contact.
Here are some particulars that we ask you to follow to ensure that the collections meet research guidelines established by the Library of Congress. Each recorded interview must be at least 30 minutes. Self-interviews are accepted. However, the project does not accept interviews of groups of veterans. VHP accepts interviews of those who served in the American military, but cannot accept the interviews of those who served for non-U.S. military. In addition to oral history interviews, VHP also collects narrative memoirs and original letters, photographs, wartime diaries or journals, military documents, two-dimensional artwork, and maps. In the absence of an interview, a submission may constitute several of these original items. Out-of-scope materials that do not meet the necessary requirements will be returned to the donor with suggested changes. Collections that cannot be adjusted to fit VHP scope are returned with a list of other repositories that might accept the collection. When you are finished recording the interview, it's time to gather your materials to submit the collection to the library. Make 2 copies of the interview and any other items you submit. One for your records and one for the veteran. Please make sure you do this, as all materials sent become part of the VHP permanent collection and cannot be returned or copied for you. VHP does not have the resources to provide the copies of the collections. Please put the name of the veteran and the veteran's date of birth on the paper insert of the CD or DVD case. Do not write or place a label directly on the CD or DVD. Make sure you fill out all the forms marked required, which are located in the field kit. This is a must. Please send original documents via a commercial mail service. Due to security procedures, United States Postal Service mail to the Library of Congress is screened, a process that will damage materials. Send the collection to Veterans History Project, Library of Congress, 101 Independence Avenue Southeast, Washington, D.C. 20540-4615. The phone number is 202-707-4916. The Veterans History Project will be unable to accept materials beyond those specified. Please note that VHP does not accept microcassettes or MP3, photocopies, objects, framed materials, published works, 3D artwork, or artifacts. Interviews done by proxy, meaning on behalf of veterans, group interviews, unit histories, or collections of veterans for other countries. As of June 2009, we no longer accept VHS tapes. Please visit the VHP website periodically to familiarize yourself with specific details and for all guidelines, updates, and the latest tips and techniques. First, the VHP staff checks to make sure your collection is complete and correctly submitted. If the required forms are missing from your donation, VHP staff will place your materials on hold and contact you to request that you complete these forms. Your collection cannot be processed until we receive all required forms. We send you an acknowledgement note card within 6 months of the receipt of the collection. Once all required forms are received, we enter basic information about the veteran into the Veterans History Project database. After a collection is processed, it is available at the Library of Congress Thomas Jefferson Building American Folklife Center Reading Room for use by researchers, educators, family members, and others. It takes 4 to 6 months from the time we receive a collection until it is fully processed and the unique web page appears online. Please refrain from contacting us regarding the status of your collection for at least 6 months after the date of submission. We appreciate your patience. Check out our website for proper procedure.
The Veterans History Project is a congressionally mandated program to preserve the one-of-a-kind recollections of America's war veterans. It is also a way anyone can honor our veterans. We look forward to receiving the stories you record and send to the Veterans History Project at the Library of Congress, American Folklife Center. So please remember, before you submit a collection, make a copy for yourself and the veteran. Complete and include the online registration form. Complete all required forms. Label all recordings with the name of the veteran and date of birth. Complete any photograph or manuscript logs. Our website, loc.gov/vets, contains all the information you need to participate in VHP. And thank you for participating in the Veterans History Project.